and welcome back to another video. In honor of Labor Day, I thought let's do an interesting video. So I started thinking Labor Day, let's play on the words a little bit. Labor Day. When you're in labor, that means you're giving birth, right? So let's do a show on crimes that happened during birth. Today we're going to talk about fetal abduction. Who knew fetal abduction was a thing, right? It's something we don't really hear about, but it does happen. I've done my research and there are plenty of cases to go around, but in this show I'm just going to elaborate on one instance where there was a fetal abduction. So let's go. Okay, so today we're going to talk about a woman named Felicia Scott. Felicia Scott came from a middle-class family. She came from a single-parent household. Her father was nowhere in the picture. She was raised by her mother and her grandmother. She grew up in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and she was a normal kid, a good kid. She had no problems growing up. She was really a great kid. But because her father had nothing to do with her growing up, she always dreamed of having a life where she had her own family, and she had a two-parent household, and there was the mom and the dad, and they got along, and everything was great. She wanted her family. And not just any family, she wanted a perfect family. After she graduated high school, she set her sights on just that. Felicia Scott dove right into marriage right after high school. She wanted her perfect family, remember? She wanted to become a wife, she wanted to become a mother. She thought she was ready for it, but was she? After 5 years of marriage and 2 kids later, her husband divorced her. Although Felicia was a great woman, she had a little bit of an attitude problem. Well, a lot of bit of an attitude problem. She was very overbearing, very confrontational and dominating, and it drove her husband away. But hey, she lasted 5 years, right? After the divorce, Felicia began to raise her 2 boys on her own. After a while, Felicia started to quickly realize just how hard it was to raise 2 bad kids on your own. Hey, shout out to Tupac, hey. So now Felicia is 23, broke, living in the hood, 2 kids, and struggling to make ends meet. She works odd jobs all the time, and she's tired. Plus, she's lonely. This is the life that Felicia never wanted. Seeing herself struggle every day, she started to think about being married again, finding a husband, being a wife, someone to help her out with her 2 kids, and to help her out financially. After several years of making it on her own, things began to look up. Felicia ran into an old admirer. He was a little older than her, but he had money, and he was going to take care of her. She just wanted someone to call her own and to help her with her 2 boys. This man's name was Fred Polian. They started to reconnect and really started to build a solid relationship. The 2 got so serious that within a year, they moved in together. Fred was a good man. Fred was a hard-working man. He worked every day. He worked with children, actually. He worked at a place where it was targeted to helping troubled kids. So, you know he was a patient man, you know he was a kind man, and you know that he was very kid-friendly. And that was a plus in Felicia's eyes. She had 2 boys, so what better man to help her with her kids than Fred? Plus, Fred was a decent man. He wasn't confrontational, he wasn't dominating, he wasn't controlling. And you know, with Felicia's personality, that fit very well in her eyes. The more she found out about Fred is the more she started to get excited, because she started to realize that this is the man that she's dreamed of all her life. This is the family that she wanted her entire life. Her dreams were starting to come true. So okay, they're moved in together. Everything's going great. Her boys are happy. Felicia's happy. Fred is happy. He's taking care of her. She's great right now. She's over the moon. Then Fred starts to say stupid shit. Like, have my baby. Fred, I have 2 kids. What are you talking about? Have my baby? Felicia didn't say anything though. She was excited that he actually wanted to have a baby with her, and she figured if she had his baby, that means he would stay. And that means she wouldn't have to work like she was working before, struggling. Fred really wanted to make a mark in his life, and he figured this would be a great way to do just that. Whether it be a boy or a girl, he really wanted to have this baby. This baby making idea started to become a high priority in his life, and he made sure he reminded Felicia of that pretty much every day. They started getting right into it. They were all over each other. He couldn't keep his hands off of her. The pressure is on. After a while, Fred starts to ask questions like, are you pregnant yet? Hey, did you take a test yet? Hey, are we pregnant? Hey, like every day. And every time the response would be a disappointing, no, I'm not pregnant. She could see the hurt in his eyes, but he kept asking. Things are boiling now. Felicia feels like she really needs to have his baby or this man is going to walk away from her. 1 month later, Felicia does the unthinkable. She tells Fred, yeah, I actually am pregnant. Fred was so excited. He was over the moon. He couldn't stop talking about it. He told everybody. Now, Felicia knew she wasn't pregnant. Felicia had a dark secret that she told pretty much no one. She got a hysterectomy a few years ago, and there was no way that she could ever get pregnant again. But she wanted to keep Fred, remember? So she decided to roll with it. She figured that if she keeps this lie going, it'll eventually become true. Oh, and it was going to become true by any means necessary. Soon after that, the perfect victim dawned on her. Why not my kid's babysitter? You see, her babysitter for her kids was 17-year-old Carenthia Curry. Carenthia was healthy, she was young, she was vibrant. It just so happens that she actually confided in Felicia that she was pregnant. And after that, Felicia devised a plan. Carenthia and Felicia got close. Carenthia was asking Felicia all sorts of questions like childbirth, being pregnant. Felicia was telling her stories. Like, they were starting to become best friends, spending every day together, doing everything together. She was always at the house. Carenthia did not deserve what happened to her. Okay, so moving on. Felicia is pregnant, remember? So she's telling everybody she's pregnant. Everybody's asking like, where's the baby belly at? And she's telling them that, oh, I don't carry my baby in my stomach, I carry my baby in my butt. So everybody's like, okay, girl. And her boyfriend, Fred, the one who sees her every day, didn't question it at all. This was his first kid, so he really didn't know too much about pregnancy, and he didn't really know what to expect, but still he was happy and he trusted her. Felicia also began spending the next couple of months preparing for the big day. She had one shot to get it right, and she wasn't going to mess up. She was determined to get Fred that baby. So, a couple months goes by, and impatient Felicia decides it's time for Carenthia to have my baby. Carenthia is 9 months pregnant at this point and due any day. One day after shopping with Carenthia and her mother, she decides to ask Carenthia if she would want to come over her house to spend some time and order some food, and just chill. The mother wasn't invited. She told the mother this is for pregnant women only. So the mother, just went ahead and went home. And now it was just the two of them. Well, the four of them, because when they got to the house with the pizza that they had ordered, Felicia sent her two sons upstairs to go to sleep. So they were upstairs sleeping. And it was just the two of them now downstairs in the living room. While eating, she starts to think about, when is the right time to pounce? When is the right time to make my attack? Next thing you know, it was the right time. Felicia did a surprise attack and shot Carenthia in the head. Damn, the kids didn't wake up. Felicia hurries and focuses on delivering that baby. She has 7 minutes before that baby loses oxygen, and she went into tunnel vision. Autopilot, her emotions were split. All there was the focus on delivering that baby. Felicia grabs a razor blade and begins to perform a C-section. I wonder if she had gloves or if did she sterilize the razor blade? Like, girl. While cutting, Carenthia must have twitched or something, but she started to see that Carenthia wasn't dead. So what did she do? She picks up the gun and she shoots her again in the head. As Carenthia was bleeding out, Felicia started working faster and faster to deliver the baby. The baby survived the delivery. She was a healthy baby girl and she had no complications. She was breathing on her own and everything was fine. So after that, Felicia's holding the baby. Then she starts to realize, wait, Fred is supposed to be on his way home any minute. I gotta clean this stuff up. So she puts the baby down and she starts to clean everything up, all the blood, even the body. She put the body in a trash bag along with the towels and everything else that she used to clean up the house with. So then she puts everything, including the dead body, in a trash can and seals it up with duct tape. She then rolls it to her car and puts it in the trunk. Okay, so Fred gets home. She comes from around the corner and she's holding the new baby, talking about, "Oh, Fred, it happened. I had the baby." Fred's like, "What? You had the baby?" He was speechless. He didn't know what to do. He was so excited. I think nothing really clicked to him at that point. The details didn't really click to him because he was so excited about having his baby now. And the things that she was saying didn't make sense, but it probably made sense to him at that point because he didn't care. He just wanted to have that baby. When she saw Fred hold that baby, everything that she just did, the murder, cleaning up all the blood, everything was worth it. Just to see the look in Fred's eyes holding the baby that she gave him. The plan worked. It was a success. Mission accomplished. Felicia was in heaven. She made sure that she told him that she delivered the baby at home and that's why the house was a mess. So she told him that she did put everything in the trunk of her car and that she needed him to take the trash out the car and dump it. So now you're getting Fred involved in your shenanigans, Felicia. That's not right. But he did it. He didn't care. He trusted her. He said, "Okay, I'll do whatever you want me to do because you just gave me my prized possession. Thank you." But instead of dumping the trash outside the house, Fred drives 50 miles to dump it in the ravine like Felicia asked him to do. He never questioned her why she needed him to drive 50 miles away and dump it. He just trusted her. He never had any reason not to trust her. So he just went with it and did it. So now everybody's happy. He's home, he's with the baby. They named the baby Kion, and everything's great. They have their perfect family. Everything's beautiful. But in less than 48 hours, this beautiful, perfect family falls apart. Carenthia's mom called the police. She didn't know where her daughter was. The last time she saw her daughter was when she was shopping with Felicia. So she called the police and filed a missing persons report. She told them that she knows Felicia has something to do with the disappearance of her child. 2 days later, the cops go to Felicia's house and she comes out holding the baby. They ask her about the baby and she said, "Yes, this is my baby. Everything is great. I love my baby so much. I had my baby at my sister's house in Birmingham and everything is great and it's just perfect." She even gave them paperwork on the baby like this was really her baby. So she must have photoshopped this or whatever, or stole some documents from somebody else and changed the name. I don't know, but she had paperwork. They soon asked her about Carenthia and if she knows anything about the disappearance of Carenthia because she was stated to be seen with her last. And she says, "Oh yeah, I know Carenthia, you know, she babysits for me. You know, maybe Carenthia ran away. You know, her and her mom didn't get along very well, so maybe she ran away. She was pregnant and her mom, you know, didn't want her to have that baby, so, you know, maybe she ran away." The police can kind of see through Felicia's lies and they decided to look more into the situation. So they began to call the Tuscaloosa Health Department. They found out that Felicia had a hysterectomy in her past and there was no way that she could get pregnant. So how did she have this baby? They became suspicious and set off to locate. They became suspicious and guys, come on, cut it out. Thank you. They became suspicious and set off to locate Felicia. Within 24 hours, they traced Felicia and she's at her dad's house laying on a couch with the baby. They take the baby and they begin to arrest her. She's talking about, "Oh no, this is my baby. Carenthia gave her to me before she left. She said that she didn't want the baby anymore and she wanted me to have the baby and raise the baby on my own because she didn't think that she would be a good mother." Police didn't believe her, but they needed the body so that they can connect Felicia to the murder of Carenthia to prove that she did it. Felicia's arrested, but she's released on bail. 2 months later, they did find Carenthia's body and it was near her sister's house. You know, the sister that she said she gave birth to her baby at. The same day, she was arrested again and charged with murder. And to this day, Felicia still doesn't admit to the kidnapping and the murder of Carenthia Curry. Fred claims he has nothing to do with it. He didn't know what was going on, but he was arrested too and given 20 years in prison after the police learned that he was the one who dumped the body. So 2 months later, after Fred was convicted, Felicia got her sentence and she ended up getting life in prison without parole. for first-degree murder. So yeah guys, that was the video today. Happy Labor Day. My ending thoughts on this situation is that I think Felicia was a twisted, sick, mad person. And I feel like she was a bit of a lot of a narcissist, because she felt like she deserved to have Carenthia's baby as her own in order to find her happiness with her boyfriend. And with all that, she lost her boyfriend and she lost the baby, and she got life in prison. So really, what did you do it for? She didn't think about anyone else's feelings. She didn't think about the fact that, actually, I just thought about this. Her kids was upstairs. They couldn't put her, well, you can't get more than life. I guess you get double life, but I mean, come on. But her kids was upstairs when she's downstairs shooting someone. Like, she couldn't get charged with something like child endangerment too. Like, she did a lot wrong. A lot. And it's just like her greediness and her selfishness was just all that mattered to her. She didn't think about her kids. She didn't think about her kids' life. That what if she gets caught? Now they're going to be without a mom. They already didn't have their dad. Now they're going to be without a mom. She didn't think about, hell, she didn't think about Carenthia's life. This was her first child. She was 17 years old. She did not deserve to be shot. All she did was good. She was her babysitter. She was a good kid, although she did get pregnant at 17, but she was a good kid. She did not deserve what happened to her. And I hope that Felicia rots in jail. And every day it haunts her mind that she killed an innocent little girl for the purpose of her own happiness. There's a special place in hell for people like that. But she wasn't the only one who did such a heinous crime. There's others. There's other women just like her. After this video, I want you to watch the next video, because I have more. There's more. There's more women doing this, and the numbers are growing. So yeah guys, go ahead and check that video out, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.